And gentlemen, things are going to be so hard for opposition team, especially after what Justin Muturi, the former AG, said today in a church. Justin Muturi rejected Edwin Sifuna's presidential ambition. Perhaps he said hajakomaa bado, because he said if he will not be chosen to run for president as the opposition team, unified opposition team, and then he will support Kalonzo Musyoka and no one else. Remember, this has come shortly after the Bungoma, the lawyers, decided to endorse Edwin Watenya Sifuna for president, including Edwin Sifuna himself, who declared that he's gonna have a mass rally in Bungoma where he comes from, so that the people can endorse him to vie for president. Sifuna even said that he has his foot soldiers, the likes of Majimbo Kalasinga, Jack Wamboka, who will be talking to the people of Bungoma as he traverses across the country to look for votes. That thing he said yesterday on Saturday, it seems to have offended Gachagua, Justin Muturi, and that clique of members of alternative government, especially from Mount Kenya region, who decided that it is Kalonzo Musyoka or nothing. Watch what Justin Muturi said today.
Kama sio mimi, mimi nitamuunga mkono, kama sio mimi, kati hao wote tumesema, mimi nitamuunga mkono ndugu yangu Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka kuwa mwombea uchaguzi wa kiti cha urais ya upinzani.
Now crowds are gathering inside opposition team. Who will carry the flag of opposition or the united opposition? That is the big question, but the answers still remain unseen, or rather unexpected. What Justin Muturi said today, it has unraveled the bitterness, the dark side of the opposition team, and the quagmire that they are experiencing in choosing who will be the flag bearer of the opposition team. Despite the fact that the people from opposition, both Linda Mwananchi and alternative government, have been calling each other, saying that they will sit down in as much as it will be a bitter and hard decision to make, and come up with one individual who will face President William Ruto at the ballot. But right now, war and conflict crowds are gathering through what Justin Muturi said today. You know, they were not to make a decision. They were not to come out publicly and say who each and everyone supports, despite the fact that Wamnyoro said that he's going to sit down with the people and make a decision, and they will give their flag bearer even next year, May 15th. But today, Justin Muturi let the cat out of the basket. Now, I want to tell you something maybe you don't know. Whatever Justin Muturi said, that is the position of Gachagua. So Gachagua, Justin Muturi, and the clique of members there, they said, or they agreed that Sifuna cannot be the president. Yet the people, other people, the youth, the young people, the people from Western, they want Edwin Sifuna to run for president. They were so okay. In fact, at the burial of the brother to Bumula constituency member of parliament, Jack Wamboka, people were referring to Edwin Sifuna as the sixth. Others were referring to him as Mtukufu Rais. The way he stood, and everyone akasimama to pay respect to the incoming president, it tells you that the people from Bungoma and the larger Western region have made their decision. But again, I want us to listen to a video where Cleopas Malala, who is the deputy party leader, DCP party, said he equally dismissed that Sifuna can be the president. He rejected Edwin Sifuna's presidency by indicating that the only position Edwin Sifuna can hold is to be the deputy president. And then he said that anyone can be the president, Kalonzo Musyoka, Matiang, they can be president. But the position of the deputy president should be reserved for Edwin Watenya Sifuna. That is what Cleopas Malala said. And remember, Cleopas Malala is equally eyeing the gubernatorial seat in Kakamega County. So whatever Cleopas Malala said, it has married what Justin Muturi said and what perhaps Rigathi Gachagua is saying, because Justin Muturi can be a mouthpiece of Rigathi Gachagua. And the better part of today, we saw the bloggers of Rigathi Gachagua trying to push the narrative that the only opposition candidate who can beat William Ruto hands down is Kalonzo Musyoka. I want you to listen to what Cleopas Malala said.
Na kwa united opposition, I am proposing today, we are fronting our son Edwin Sifuna, our deputy president. Mimi nataka kupropose leo hapa, nataka waliwe ambao wako hapa mtuunge mkono, kwamba kama Rigathi Gachagua atachaguliwa president, sawa, kwa united opposition. Kama ni Kalonzo, sawa. Kama ni Matiang'i, sawa. Lakini kiti ya deputy president, we must give our son Edwin Sifuna aenda kanipa hiyo kiti.
Yeah, that is what Cleopas Malala said. It has confirmed the fears that Wamnyoro, Justin Muturi and the people from the Mount Kenya region, they have already made a decision. That is Kalonzo Musyoka, and the rest can go wakiendanga wakikaukanga. And then they have rejected the fact that the Sifuna, the Luhya, you know, the second largest community, they say, is the Luhya community. And they felt like the Luhya community equally this time round, they had a chance of becoming the leading tribe. Like they have a son who can be the president of Kenya because he has been accepted countrywide. But this is something that has been choreographed. This is something that Rigathi Gachagua and the people who are closer to him have decided. And remember, Rigathi Gachagua must be the architecture of everything. Remember, the other time the Star newspaper indicated that Rigathi Gachagua has already made a decision on Kalonzo Musyoka. Rigathi Gachagua came up gun blazing, saying that that newspaper, you know, was bought by William Ruto. He's the one who is giving headlines. But there is a truth. If you consider what Justin Muturi said, what Rigathi Gachagua has been said, what the bloggers of Rigathi Gachagua are saying, and what Cleopas Malala said, you can click that these people, they have rejected Edwin Sifuna's presidency and they want to bring someone who is closer to the Kikuyu community, and that is Kalonzo Musyoka. You know, sometimes someone said that these Kikuyus, they cannot allow someone who is not a Kikuyu, yeah, to be the president. But when you consider Kamba and Kikuyu, Kalonzo is more of a Kikuyu than you can say Sifuna or Matiang'i. But again, there's something that got me thinking. Today, Oscar Sudi was talking to the people from the Kamba community. And for the first time, Oscar Sudi did not abuse or insult Kalonzo Musyoka. Neither did he say something bad about Kalonzo Musyoka. But he said that Kalonzo Musyoka is a good person. Is one person who may be saved from opposition and join President William Ruto. Those are not my words. That is what Oscar Sudi said. And the same way, Oscar Sudi is a dog of William Ruto. He barks. When he barks, we always know what is next. Here, he has started, praising Kalonzo Musyoka, nini, this man is clever, anastahili kukua mjanja kama Raila. Listen to what Oscar Sudi said.
Kalonzo sio mbaya sana, tuombe Mungu. Ataokoka this time round. Vile mimi nasikia kwa nini yangu, ataokoka. Ndiye atoe nyinyi kwa mnyororo ya umaskini. Lazima au atoe kwa mnyororo ya umaskini. Hamwezi kuwa mnatembea alafu kila siku hamna maji, hamna nini, alafu kwa sababu unafanya siasa misi. Unaona Raila Odinga alikuanga mjuaji sana.
Now, apart from that, what Oscar Sudi said, already we know that there is something that is being cooked. But again, a headache emerges. What Oscar Sudi said is Kalonzo Musyoka, is Kalonzo Musyoka weighing? He has been sitting on the fence for the longest part of his life. That he sits on the fence, whatever happens, anaruka pandengine. It happened in 2007. So, does he, Is he gauging and balancing whether if he will be chosen to be the flag bearer aende, if he will not be chosen aingie upande wa serikali? I don't know. Maybe you can read that in the comment section, what you think about it. Can he dump the opposition aende kwingine in case wamchague mwingine? Now, back to what Luhya community is doing. They are harnessing all the energy ahead of 2027. George Natembeya, who was equally vying for the president, it seems that he has shelved his ambitions, and right now he is rooting for Edwin Sifuna to be the president. In fact, they want to come up with a party that will bring together all the leaders from the Luhya community. And in this party, Boni Halwale is there. That Mumia's East Member of Parliament, Peter Salasia, will be there. Jack Wamboka will be there. Kalasinga Majimbo will be there. Some other leaders who have not confirmed, because Edwin Sifuna said recently that there are many people who want to join Linda Mwananchi and join Mimi Ndo Sifuna movement, but wameogopa kidogo. So that tells you if vuguvugu ya Edwin Sifuna is going to sweep all the seats in Luhya community. So equally, they are prepared to vie for president. In as much as they are going to that communication, I want you to listen to what George Natembeya said. Alisema, when they will sit at the table, hawa akina Gachagua akina nini, they will tell them why a Luhya cannot be the president of Kenya. Hapo ndo mashida inaanzia. Listen to what George Natembeya said.
Tunataka 2027 kudirejea taifa la Kenya kwamba Mluhya anaweza kuja pamoja.
Now, for today, I don't want to talk about Martha Karua, because in as much as she might be the Iron Lady, people love her, she's, I don't know, but I want to talk about Fred Matiang'i. Fred Okengo Matiang'i is also loved by the people from his community. Unfortunately, they have no numbers. These people, they trust that Fred Matiang'i is the right guy to steer the wheel of this country. They believe that Kenya needs a tough guy, not a soft guy like Kalonzo Musyoka. So that tells you that in Kisii and Nyamira, people have embraced the Matiang'i movement. And not only in Kisii, there are people who love Fred Okengo Matiang'i countrywide. Yeah? But unfortunately, Fred Matiang'i is not so keen to do his campaigns well. He doesn't have that gusto and enthusiasm to approach other communities to beg for votes. And that is going to be a problem. But Matiang'i was asked by the Gusii community, and what he said can bring you another fresh headache. Fred Matiang'i said he can never leave his job at the World Bank, a better paying job, he be called in Kenya to vie for president, and then aachie mtu fulani. Alisema ataenda up to the ballot, and whatever he said is something that was copied by Moses Kuria. Moses Kuria, you know, is another prophet. He said that Raila Odinga atakutana na Ruto wakati hata watu hawakuwa wanadhamiria it happen. He said that it happened. He's one person who says the truth. So he said Fred Matiang'i hata iwe nini atafika kwa ballot. The same thing happens to Kalonzo Musyoka. Amekuwa akisukuma Raila for so long. This is his time to be on the ballot. Now I want to ask you, what do you think? Because if Fred Matiang'i will not be chosen, those people trust Matiang'i will lose the hope and the morale to go and vote. The Gusii community, trust me, will never turn up to vote because they want Fred Matiang'i to be the president. There are people equally all over the country who believes in Fred Okengo Matiang'i. So if he will not be chosen, kutakuwa na shida. Sifuna is another movement. Almost the young people, they believe that the only person who can be the president of Kenya is Edwin Sifuna, for number one, because he is young, he resonates so well with them, is brave. So they don't take Kalonzo or Matiang'i for an option because they are saying they need a generational change, someone of their time, not the octogenarians, those people who've been serving this country for so long. Yeah? Okay. That will tell you many young people will not vote, and the people from the Luhya community will not vote. Next, let's talk about Kalonzo Musyoka. The Kamba people, they believe in Kalonzo Musyoka and the Kikuyu community equal if they will be directed by Rigathi Gachagua. So that tells you if Kalonzo Musyoka will be elected or that will be nominated by the opposition to be the flag bearer, people from Kisii and the Luhya community will not vote. And that will lead to voter apathy, which will give William Ruto a leeway, an upper hand to be or to defend his position. And what if Justin Muturi, will happen? Or rather, Kalonzo Musyoka will not be the flag bearer, Sifuna be the flag bearer. That will tell you that the people from the Mount Kenya region, the vote-rich region, may be, or rather may not vote for Edwin Sifuna because they believe that their own should be at the helm. I don't know. This thing is going to be a tough decision to make, and already it has started bringing problems, and that will be the happiness of William Samoei Ruto. Write in the comment section what you think, who will be the flag bearer, because I see Justin Muturi, Rigathi Gachagua and the clique of leaders, it's like they've made their decision on who to support for the presidential campaign. I don't know what you think. Hit the notification bell if you're new here, and also consider subscribing, like and sharing our content. Hit the notification bell so that you can be receiving notifications each and every time we bring you